I was actually saying before the Christmas time that let's check after the holidays how Veilguard is doing. Of course, in the meantime, so much happened that I'm not sure if we even have to check, but I would like to, and I would like to show you something. We do have the stats for Veilguard. Then we did have also Corinne Bush leaving. Let's go to that topic a little bit later. And then we had also the EA having to adjust their revenue based on the failure of Failguard. Who would have thought? Here's the stats for Dragon Age, the Failguard. And as you can see, this is the all-time peak that we've seen when the game came out, and it hasn't changed. And if you scroll down, and I said, like, for me, the absolute confirmation of the entire like game failing would be if we see like a drop instead of an increase after the vacations, like the Christmas holidays. Because normally what happens, people have more time during the Christmas and they go back to their games and, catch up on them and play a little bit more. And if you look at what happened, like they went down like minus. So and they went from like the peak player count of 89,000 to 19.7k in December. And in the last 30 days, so basically it's almost now the like January stats, it's just like 13 and a half. Oh, come on. So this is really bad. Tekla is writing, I'm still impressed with over 4K 20-hour peak. I think there are some people who are actually doing like a second or a third replay. From what I have seen, so I have noticed some YouTubers like who like the game, they are doing like a second or third replay, and that's where it just tells me, it just confirms to me even more that the sales numbers are really not so great, because it's not like new players or that new people would be buying the game. It's just the same people who have already bought the game previously. Now they are just doing a second or a third playthrough. So even if you see like the number of the players here being, 3 or 4K, majority of them will be probably the same ones as you have seen in November and December. Doesn't necessarily bode well for the sales, to be honest. This one was posted today by Gaming Bolt that was a note that the Veilguard will get an update where finally the side quests will be marked with the recommended levels with which you should do these side quests, which wasn't there before. And the update came after everything that has happened already in the meantime. And as you can see, it just has like 2 replies already had at the time when I was opening this. And one of them is from me and the other one is from somebody else, but same sentiment. It's over. Let it go. Relax. It's dead. Nobody cares anymore, right? So
He's dead, Joe.
I think if you are a little bit knowledgeable about ZombieWare, then you will probably know Mark Darrah, who was working for BioWare for many years. And he is also on YouTube. He has his own channel. And I think what was very interesting lately was one vid that he posted. Let me just maybe share it on the screen. I will not like play the entire vid, but I would like to show you basically a graph that he was sharing. This one, and this is basically what he was showing. So he was showing during his vid how ZombieWare, and I will call them ZombieWare, was working on the games previously in the previous years. And as you can see, they have like they have always worked on multiple projects at once. And you can see when they started to work on which ones, like for example here Andromeda, and you have here the entire, for example, like scale of Dragon Age as well, or amongst other games. So you have Dragon Age Origins, and then Awakening, Dragon Age 2, Inquisition, and then again some other projects that they were working on. And I think this shows you why there are so many people in ZombieWare, why they have so many studios in so many locations, and B, why they were actually able to put out so many games in certain time periods, because they were like working on all of them at the same time, basically. Games have been, for the most part, all of them finished. They have shipped Dragon Age the Veilguard, and now they have basically only one game currently which they're working on, and that's Mass Effect 5. And that's it. It's no surprise that they are moving people within EA now. So they took people out of BioWare and moved them to some EA projects. So basically to completely different games and different projects. And they just left those people currently at BioWare, I think, who are working on the Mass Effect 5. And those are not the people in the Edmonton studio, as I understood. And as you probably heard, the Edmonton studio is most probably going to be shut down. BioWare is like an old favorite restaurant that eventually has none of the stuff that made it great and then goes full vegan. That's from John, yes. Exactly, yeah.
Cold. How's our signature dish?
Bland as fuck.
We could see the game director leaving ZombieWare. A lot of people were saying, and this is probably what was happening in reality in the meantime, was that probably Corinne was told to go before they fire him, and probably they paid him something. And now he's writing that he's looking for other opportunities. And the reactions from most of the people online whenever you are opening any of the social media is like, yeah, tell me where he ends up because I will avoid that studio like hell. And then there were also people writing like which studio would actually hire him because that would be suicide. So yeah, the sentiment amongst the players is, I think, the same when we talk about the Corinne.
Nah, just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
EA lost 6 billion in value. Jesus, that's from Tekla. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share actually as well. Electronic Arts has lowered its revenue forecast for its current business year. And I'm not sure if you remember, I was also like making jokes and writing in some of my posts on Twitter last year, November, December, that ZombieWare must be very scared to present the financials to EA because the shareholders will probably not be happy when they see the sales. And it was so obvious when they were so desperately trying to sell a few more copies when they went with the game on sale. Like normally when you have a completely new game, it doesn't go on sale in the first year at least. Like it doesn't. And they just like released the game on the 31st of October and then already during November and then in December it was already on sale. Like before the Christmas vacations, if I remember correctly, it was on sale. That you don't do that with a completely newly released game if you are not chasing for some sales numbers. And it doesn't matter if you are saying that you have sold I don't know how many copies, if the revenue behind it is not there because you gave half of them away for a reduced price or just like that, you know. And also, let's not forget, I think the game was part of the like Game Pass, so people could buy a Game Pass, like a monthly pass for some ridiculous price. I don't know, it was like $17-20, and they could play some games from the catalog, and actually Veilguard was one of those. And then people played the game for $17 or $20 and then they again left the Game Pass and just unsubscribed, and that's it, right? So yeah, the revenue is not there, and I do not wonder. And if you look at the shares, I mean, this says it all. The decrease, the past 5 days, minus almost 20%. That's crazy if this happens. And it is absolutely clear that like this went down exactly after this announcement, and this announcement was tied to the underperformance of FC5 25 and Dragon Age the Veilguard. So basically they directly confirmed now that the game was a flop.
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
And yesterday?
$1 billion.
They have been going downhill for quite some time and for quite a few years. And I think the Dragon Age, the Failguard game was just the last nail in the coffin, not just in that one studio. I really think that they are going to have a problem with the other studios as well. I mean, Mass Effect 5, as long as I remember, it's not even like in production yet. It's like still in pre-production. So this time in this phase, if they cancel it, nothing big was really lost. I would put it this way.
This whole thing could have been avoided.
Shut the fuck up. Let me die in peace.